is Elle, and I am here with Laron and our friend Prakash. And Laron and I will be interviewing Prakash today. So, Laron and I are from Weet. I am the customer success manager at Weet.
And I am the sales account executive for Weet. And as she said, today we're going to interview Prakash. Thank you so much, Prakash, for doing this. Do you want to just quickly introduce yourself, and then I will just give a bit of a context regarding our story?
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Prakash Rajpurohit. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer and the founder of the Root Company. So it's an organic food and beverage manufacturing company based in Calcutta, India, and we help small and marginal farmers across India and bring their fresh produce to your table.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, so just to give a bit of context, Prakash and I, we did our master together here in Barcelona. That's how we met. This master was full of amazing people such as Prakash, who became then entrepreneurs and did a lot of things. So that's why I'm super happy that we can have you today on this chat, because I think you can really bring super valuable content, advices, etc. So just to give a bit of context, because your story is very, very interesting, and it goes back to some time already. But basically, before 10 years ago, before to do the master and all of that, you already created your first small venture, where you were creating events for school, right, and business events.
Yeah.
Then I remember after the master, or maybe in between, you created Slancer.
Yeah.
Exactly, which was this platform that helped businesses in India to go digital. And you are doing this, helping them by using freelancers and consultants and basically connect them together.
Exactly, yeah.
Is that correct? Yes. And then you had Be Fast Export, so the one that you are running at the moment, which is export and supply Indian spices and also vanilla across the world, with your new subsidiary, what you just presented before with the Root Company.
Exactly,
so, a lot of things there. So we'll go a bit deeply into how did you arrive to this point? What are the challenges you've got? So Elle and I will just go back and forth together with some questions. The first one will be, so you began a decade ago, as we said, with the small venture company. What were you doing back then? How did that all start?
So the story starts back let's say 10 years ago. I was in my high school, and I was always intrigued by the idea of doing something creative and doing something of my own. So I met some people from my class, and we were just like going around, and we found out that the events which are happening in the city, it wasn't that much at that time. Like if we look like a decade ago, people were not much involved in event management or even organizing events like the way they are done now. So we started a thing where we would organize events for the schools, for let's say seminars, or for offices, or like small startups. We would just arrange everything for them and help them source the right people and everything. It was basically an event management company. So I met a few people, like two three people from my class, and we all started this thing. That worked out really great. We organized around at that time we organized around like 9 to 10 events, and they were all really good success. So yeah, that was the thing which I like started that time, and that was my first venture. So I learned a lot from that.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. And that was just your first of many things you would do. It, from what I understand, you pivoted from events management to building an online platform for freelancers. How did that change come about? Like, what's the story there, and how did it go? What did you learn?
I'd like to say one thing. So the thing with entrepreneurs is they never settle really. So
Yeah.
they just move around from one thing to another. That's what happens. If you look at like all the unicorn startups, you'll see like the founders just quit and they just move to another venture they're interested in. So this is what happened with me. So after that, there was a long break between me starting Slancer and leaving the event management company. So in that long break, I met a lot of people, a lot of amazing people, networked, and we're still in touch. So this Lancer thing came to my mind. I was with Lauren. We were doing our masters, and I was in Barcelona. So Barcelona is a startup hub. You'll meet some amazing people out there, learn a lot of things. And I saw during the COVID. So what happened was I was in Barcelona like during the initial time, but then I left back to India. So I saw that many small businesses were struggling. It was all around the world. Let's just not say India, but it was all around the world. But they were all struggling, and they were struggling because not many small businesses were digital, were online, and they didn't know what to do. Like after that crisis, their revenue was going down. They were all closed, and you cannot operate like that. You will just be in loss. So I came up with an idea where we would just go to those. I went to like let's say around 200 to 300 small businesses, small shops. I like visited them personally, talked to them, what were their core problems, listed them out. Okay, what can we do about it? And then we launched a platform which was called Slancer. So where we would onboard freelancers and consultants. So this was a plus plus for both the sides. If you're a small business, this is good for you because you can get your relevant freelancers and the consultants for your business, for your problems, and solve everything for you. And even for freelancers and consultants, because they'd get a chance to be hired, or they'll get some work. So this was a thing, and we helped a lot of businesses go digital. We made their website, we helped them in digital marketing, we like placed them a consultant. So yeah, so that they could work and work with them. So yeah, it was really great, that venture.
That's wonderful. Thank you for
Nice.
sharing.
Yeah. I mean, um I remember because I lived this with you. I remember you from the beginning, digital platform, finding people. It was such a nice challenge. I remember I was so impressed because I could have never done that, you know. Um, so I know the story, but I want you to also explain what happened then after that, like because you also took another big turn and kind of
Yeah,
like let that go and went to something completely different, which is now the Be Fast Export and the Root company. So
yeah.
of course, then we want to ask a little bit more of what are the challenges and what you learned. But I think first we need to understand like this big turn as well, because it was just, yeah. Tell us.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. This was actually a big turn. So what happened? I moved back to Barcelona after COVID and everything was done. So at that time, I was more focused on my thesis, on my completing my masters. I also enrolled for the MBA program, and I was more focused on that. So I couldn't give much time to my venture Slancer, but my team was working on it, and it's still alive, it's surviving, it's good, it's doing good, it's still helping people out, it's helping small businesses go digital. But then what I noticed was, as I told you, entrepreneurs never settle. So what happened was, when I came back to Barcelona, so I found out that India exports a lot of things to different places. India actually feeds the world, let's say. We're like top exporter of agriculture products from our country. So I found out this would be a good opportunity to export good spices, organic spices from India to different countries, and there was a huge demand for that. So when I came back to India, I started this thing which was known as BFast Exports. So where we would source organic spices and pulses from farmers in India and export them to different countries: Australia, Bangladesh, Vietnam, and let's say UAE and Europe too. We exported some to France and Italy, and that was going really great. Yeah, so that was a big turn, actually. Yeah.
Wow, that is so impressive.
Nice.
Like you just
Yeah.
your the breadth and depth of what you can do. It's very impressive, Prakash. So, in to you, what problem does the Root company solve?
So, Root Company. So, actually, Root Company, let's say, is linked to what I do in BFast Exports. Root Company. So, I recognize there was one more problem with sourcing organic spices from the farmers. that the farmers were not recognized. I could just go and buy it from there. People would not know where this comes from. They don't know the story behind that. So I started Root Company. So what Root Company does, it source good organic spices. We test those spices and pulses, or let's say beverages, in our labs, and they go like really strict check, and we recognize those farmers. We build their story. We talk to them. We Every time you buy a product, there's a QR code on that product. You scan it, and you get the story of what exactly, how the product was made, how it was sourced. So that's what Root Company is doing. It's sourcing organic produce from the farmers and bringing it to your table. You'll in a few months, by the end of this year, you'll surely find that in Europe as well, because we'll be exporting that to Europe too. Yeah.
Ready for the US. Come on.
Yeah.
There's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yes.
we need a lot more transparency over here. That's really impressive. Like
That's such a nice idea. Yeah.
I would appreciate that so much. It's always such a, unless I buy something at the farmer's market here, especially in the US.
Yeah, and it's the thing is, you get we are the thing which we are doing. It's much cheaper than our the other. If you look at other competitors, it's much expensive. People are getting conscious about healthy eating after this crisis which happened, COVID pandemic. So people are moving towards organic food and organic beverages and everything. They are more conscious about what they're eating, especially in India. The market is going to boom in upcoming years. So this is the problem which I'm solving, and this it's good for your life too, like eating healthy, and I'm happy that I'm able to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you should be. You should
Yes.
be proud, definitely. So, I mean, we have this question that is, so you've done this for different, very different industry and venture or companies. Like what would you say? It's I don't know how to like do it, but what did you prefer? Because I guess you like them all, but like maybe which area you were more comfortable, which area you enjoy the most, or you would maybe like thinking of going back to later on, maybe something different, like and why? Like why?
So if you look at like all this circle, everything is related. I started with let's say event management. That was different. But if I talk about Slencer, I was helping small businesses. If I come to Be First Exports, I was helping small businesses at that point too. If I come to Root Company, I'm helping small businesses at that time too. I'm helping small and marginal farmers recognize their product, like come out in the open. I'll buy their product at a good rate than the other people, and they'll get that benefit. So I'm at this moment I'm into the food and beverage industry, and I'll stick to it for now because this is what is intriguing me now. But as I said, you never settle, so you never know.
We
So
don't
do
want
you
you to.
feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you should not.
Yeah.
So do you feel like then all this like journey really helped you, like business by business helped you more and more, and like did you maybe make mistake in the beginning that you didn't do for the, I don't know, the third one or now, or like, because like you say it's related, so I guess also everything around it is related, your network, the way you proceed, the people you talk to, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So exactly, everything is related because so when I started, I made a lot of mistakes. The mistake of not picking a good team, not using the right people, right channels, not using the right strategies to communicate or get in touch with people, or marketing strategies. So it was difficult in the starting, but as they say, like failures are the step towards success. So I guess that was a thing. But like after venture by venture, I learned how to like pick good people, get a good team together, and how to like advance that to the another venture. So yeah, there's been a lot of mistakes, but now like I've learned a lot, so that's helping me at this moment. And I'm sure I'll make mistakes now too, but that'll be helpful for me in the future.
That's how you learn. Like
Yeah,
you need to make mistake, I guess. If you don't, it's impossible.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. You want to go for it?
Absolutely. So you actually segued into our next question very well because we're going to shift just a little bit. So I want to talk about communication. What challenges, if any, have you faced just around communication in general with entrepreneurship?
Okay, so communication, like it's the key to any business. It's like if you crack communication, you can crack your deal. So I faced a lot of challenges, starting with even with the event management. Or let's come to Slancer. Let's come to the recent times. Slancer, we were when we started. So there were a lot of mistakes we did, and there were a lot of challenges too. Like we didn't know what perfect medium to use to communicate. If it should be email, if it should be like message, it should be Slack. We were struggling with that. So that was one thing. And at times people would misunderstood what we were trying to say, and they would not actively take part. So that was one more thing, not being able to grab their attention. So that was one more challenge which I faced. And I remember I was involved in a lot of meetings which were actually not useful at that point of time, and I believe we could have done a lot better than user time on those meetings. So yeah, these are some challenges which I faced during my journey.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Um, do you use digital communication at all? And do you feel like it enhances your ability to communicate? And like, I know a big problem you mentioned was like reaching out. I mean, you're just one of a billion people trying to communicate with your customer. So do you
Yeah.
feel like communicating digitally helps you with that?
Of course, it does. By coming to digital communication, everything has been helpful for me. For example, let's say your platform Weet. It's been great for me. It's working out great as I can just send. For example, if I'm working with my clients or even my team, and if they're stuck with something, I can just record a video and like of how a video tutorial and how to do, and send it to them, and they'll just watch it and check it how it works, and the problem would be solved rather than just emailing them. Okay, this is going to be the way, and this is how you do it. So that's one plus point which is helping me a lot at this point. And also, like you digitally, if you're communicating, you can explain it much better than communicating like for, let's say, some other way. So that has been great for me. Yeah.
That's
Nice.
awesome. You answered the next question before we even asked it.
Yeah.
You're this, Prakash. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
mean, also, I guess if you want to keep track of all of this, you need good communication because you must be people
Exactly.
everywhere in India. Or I don't know if you still have
Exactly.
some people in Barcelona, but it's
Yeah.
such a
No,
challenge.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If you're talking to people around the world, and if you want to keep like who's checking your videos, who's engaging in your communicating, the way you're communicating. So I guess this platform has been really great for me, and checking my insights as well. So yeah, digital communicating has been good for me. The business I'm doing, I think this is the best model for me. Yeah.
That's awesome. We hope a lot of people agree with you. I
Yeah.
think it was pretty great as well. A lot better than an email.
Yeah.
I think that's it from us. Did you have anything else to ask, Laron?
No, I think we're all set. I mean, we could talk for an hour probably because
Yeah,
your
I know.
story is
Prakash,
so
you are just a
interesting.
wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. And we're gonna give everyone watching multiple ways to find you.
Yeah.
We've tagged Prakash, and it wouldn't let me tag the Root Company, but we'll make sure we link out to the Root Company as well in our next post about it. And so you can find Prakash and learn more about him and the Root Company.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I know Prakash, you're currently on holiday, so thank you so much also
Yes.
for taking the time for us.
No problem.
I think we really
Everything for
appreciate.
yeah.
I think we really
Thank you.
appreciate, and it's always nice to have this kind of feedback. And I mean, I'm pretty sure also they can reach out to you if they have any questions.
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
I always ask you
Yeah.
about your life and about what's going on. I think it's super inspiring. So I'm really glad that we had you today on the webinar. So thank you.
Agreed.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.